today. Okay? Play the field, but make sure you come back home. You got to make sure you come back home to the centering of what you need to take care of, what's important, valuing family, valuing your goals. It's okay to play the field, but you still got to come back home. You got to remember that. And that can apply to many different ways of however this word is going to go. I'm about to put my prayer in so I can get the clarity of this word. Lord God, I ask you to give me the clarity of this word that I speak, that you are giving me to speak and touch bases on to help your kids and those who are in need of this word this morning. I thank you in Jesus' name of Nazareth for your clarity, your love, your guidance. In Jesus' name of Nazareth, I pray. Amen. So, emotional stability. Emotional stability refers to an individual's ability to manage and regulate their emotions effectively, demonstrating resilience and a balanced emotional state, especially when facing challenges and stress. It's about responding to situations with composure and consistency rather than with extreme reactions or mood swings. So, when you find yourself in a situation, when you've gone through multiple different situations, you learn to value maturity. You learn to develop maturity in the emotional state. So you just won't be lashing out or cussing people out or disrespecting people. You actually can take their word for it and say, okay, well, that's how you feel. Okay, cool. And then you can also, when you've learned and gained emotional control and stability, you can look at yourself and evaluate how you feel. You can look at yourself and say, like, okay, well, why does this bother me? You know, you can be able to ask yourself questions and be able to get to the root of the problem. When you can find yourself getting to the root of the problem, you are at a different stage of your emotional scale. Hello, hey RO. ARO. So if you can look at how you feel about a situation. For those of my people who always be emotional, you just act out of your emotions. Meaning you wear your heart on your sleeve. You love unconditionally. You love openly. When you find yourself at a state where, or a place in your life where you realize that your heart is not damaged and is always open to give love freely, you can tell you did the healing work. That's a good thing. That's an indication of you being able to see within yourself that you've done the healing work. Nothing in the past has stopped you from loving openly. Hey, Angel. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Justin. I'm in the process. Yes, I'm a professional life coach. That's my next step, ARO. That's what God is leading me to. That's where, and I normally don't even tell what my future hold with that, but yeah, yes, absolutely. In the process of, right now I'm a professional life coach. I went through class, got my certification, got what I need to be able to do what I need to do, and of course life experiences and walking in my purpose. I do help people on a day-to-day basis, some monthly, some weekly, some whenever they feel the need to reach out to me. I do help people. So I do have a business where, you know, if people are having certain problems in life or they just need somebody to talk to, I'm definitely one of those people that they are guided to talk to. Thank you, Angel Papa. I appreciate you. I help a lot of people out of situations, and I'm not boasting or bragging about it, but I give all my credit to the Lord. My main goal is to direct you to the Lord. You know, that's wonderful. Just to direct you to the Lord, you know, using your discernment that He give you. I read the Bible a lot. I and God guide me. I pray, you know. That's really it. And I'm authentically myself. So I help a lot of people, and it's been successful for about 2 or 3 years now. So I'm grateful that God gave me this ability or these abilities, and plus things I had to learn in the process. So I'm very happy that I can be a choice for the people to be able to talk to. So I'm grateful. Yes, that's my next step. Who's that said that? ARO? Yeah. Hi, baby Kelsley 34. Let me see, who else? Okay, I say hi to everybody. And I'm a big communicator through the chat. I don't pay too much attention to trolls and things of that nature. I pretty much know where you stand based off of your comment. If it's meant for me to say something, I will. A lot of people feel open to, for my newcomers, a lot of people feel comfortable, speaking about their situations in the chat. And if it's meant for me to speak on it, I will. Um, I have people that donate. I do charge for my services. That is awesome. A lot of people don't understand that, that 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 can really change your life, especially about people who don't know about the inner child, nurturing the inner child, being directed or redirecting their behaviors, their thoughts, certain repetitive cycles that they put themselves in whichever area in life. So yeah, I talk about relationships. I talk about whatever I'm guided to. I always pray. I let God guide me. Whatever God has put on my heart or He's been giving me a message to speak on, I always speak on it. And it's successful because I can't do nothing without God. I'm gonna just let you know that. It's a lot of believers that come here, and there's a lot of non-believers that come here too. But no judgment towards me, or no judgment from me. I accept people for who they are. And in order to be a therapist or in order to be a life coach, you have to have an open mind. You can't be narrow-minded, you know. So you have to be willing to, in all different races I talk to or different races I connect with, me being a people's person. So yeah, socially it always works out. But thank you for the subscribers, new subscribers. If you've liked, shared, or subscribed to my channel, I appreciate you. I pray with you being here that you get what you need. Normally I feel like everybody always get what they need, because I don't come on here unless I'm guided to speak on something that can be of value. And I don't just be talking just to hear myself talk. That don't do me. That ain't cool. That ain't me. But today I was guided on speaking this word. So I'm gonna just let God guide me, you know. Um, my name is Naportia. This is Naportia Life Coaching Truths. Um, and let's just get this show on the road. I mean, let's go ahead and do what we do. It's going down. I use songs and so forth and so forth. If you a subscriber, you'll know. But that song I'm hearing, that's a Trey Songz song. I've been listening to that song for about a whole 2-3 days now. Valentine didn't came early. And whatever you want, girl, you deserve it. What is that? Red Lips. That's actually one of my favorite songs, but it actually have a deeper meaning. Girl, you know what you do to me when you got that red lipstick on. Baby, kiss me till your lipstick's gone. Ooh, said red, yeah. Red lips, girl, you know what you do to me when you got that red lipstick on. Baby, kiss me till your lipstick's gone. Ooh, said nothing ever felt so right. 'Cause I never knew that what a love can take, and a kiss can feel so good. I always mix the words up. There is nothing There's nothing like your lips, they taste like candy. Is that the words? Does it make you happy? So please put it on. I love when it's on. Cause I'm a kiss until it's gone. Girl, you know. That's my song. Said you do. Red lipstick. It's a significance there. Red lipsticks by Trey Songz. Ooh, girl, you got that red, red, red. You got that red. You got that red. Oh, let's see if I can pull up the lyrics on that. Because there's a significance. There's a message there. I haven't really. Okay, can you help me understand how to deal with my emotions? That must be why the emotional stability is coming up. And I believe that with this message that I'm getting, it's going to tie into why God in the first place had me looking up emotional stability. I can do my best based off the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I'm blessed with. So we already tapped into what emotional stability is. Okay. And it's when you can effectively demonstrate resilience and in a balanced emotional state when you facing challenges and stress in certain situations or most situations. When you can be mature enough to see a positive point of view in the situation, it's easy to move on. It's easy to let it go. Well, sometimes it takes it depends on the situation, because sometimes you have to ponder on it and sit with yourself enough to evaluate how you feel. Why am I feeling like this? Going over the situation step by step, moment by moment, that draws up in your mind as to what you can remember about the situation. So whatever is popping up for you to have to sit back and say, well, then I'm just going to throw a scenario out there. Let's talk about relationships, because that's what this song was basically pulling me in a direction to. He said, and I'm going to quote in the song, Valentine's Day done came early, and whatever you want, girl, you deserve it. Cause you're warmer than the summertime, so I hold you through the wintertime. And the love inside your eyes could turn a cloudy day to sunshine. I make a move, then you make a move. I'm wanting your love and nothing to lose. I'm in the mood to do it. Wait, it popped up, sorry. And I'm reading the lyrics. I'm in the mood to, hold on. I'm in the mood if you're in the mood to go in the room and do what we do. Ooh. It's going down. I want your body in my arms right now. Want your pretty lips, lips. Girl, you know what you do to me when you got that red lipstick on. Baby, kiss me till your lipstick's gone. And then he repeat again. Red lips, red lips. You got that red, you got that red, you got that red lipstick on. Now when you think about lipstick, red is eye-catching. Red is, let's go into it, God. Wherever you taking me with this word, I'm with it. I never plan, I just go. So what is the meaning of red? Red means love, passion, excitement, but it also can mean danger, anger, or it can even mean war. Hey, and Tony, hi. Because sometimes I get upset. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into the message before I draw in. But by you saying that, it just gave me confirmation on where God want me to take this word. Because anger, red means danger, anger, or even war. So when you're dealing with the emotional state, once you can recognize all the ways that you get off into lashing out on somebody, cussing somebody out, being being selfish to the point where it's like if it's not working out in my favor, it's wrong. So all of this gonna tie together. Let me not move too fast. But going back to what you said, because sometimes I get upset and don't know how to calm myself down, and I want to know what's that from. That's from inner turmoil of inner trauma that comes from stuff that happened to you when you was growing up, or a recent situation from the past that you had, was a situation you was in and you wasn't able to get your point across in the ways that you felt you needed to get your point across. It was like the other person always had the upper hand, to where you couldn't really speak in the nature of calmness. It's like you had to argue your point. It was always you being the like, you always felt like the victim, because in some to most cases you may have always been that victim. Meaning you found ways to communicate, but it was based off of what you seen, based off of your parents. It was based off of what you seen, based off of being watching TV. It was based off of what you picked up on your knowledge of understanding, you know. So going off of that, when you don't learn a new way to communicate with certain individuals, it can come off and explode in different ways. And going back to the color red, love, passion, and excitement, you may have represented all of those things, but there's a negative side of when you can't get your way, or how you see how others were done, and somehow it latched on to your understanding of how, that's how you need to be, that's how you need to communicate. And so when you sit with yourself and you really truly evaluate, when you take away everything that you was taught, as far as what you've seen, what you've been watching, who taught you how to behave that way, or perceive it that way, or see the perspective of that aspect of whatever argument or disagreement or communication style, you know when you can eliminate all of everybody else's way of dealing with things, or if you can eliminate different ways of not you, because you're still discovering you. When you're on that journey of discovering you and how you feel about certain things, how you want to feel about certain things, you could pretty much change the dynamic and the direction of how things flow. Not saying that you should or try to or want to control somebody else's behavior, but you'll be able to have control over how you perceive it and how you go about things. So going into excitement and energy. So red is a stimulating color that evokes feelings of excitement, passion, and energy. And red has a historical essence or association with power, leadership, authority. So going back to religious upbringings, what was traditional in your household, when you start to eliminate the process of where you get this from, why am I like that? Well, dang, when certain flashbacks in your mind, because you get triggered off certain situations, you're not going to really be able to reflect or see back where, how, and things has happened or been happening until you actually sit back and get triggered. Most of the time you will have to get triggered in order for that attitude to come out, or for that essence to rain out of you, or for you to be able to see, oh dang, my mama got smacked like that. So that's why, I made up in my mind that I'm not going to be treated like that. So you put a defense up to be able to protect yourself. It's all protection. A lot of people hold on to trauma of the last experience because it's protection moving forward, and sometimes it's being suppressed. It's not being brought to the surface unless it's being triggered. And going into that song, Trey Songz, I'm being called to. You be my number one, you be my number one. Tell me how you want it done, tell me how you want it done. See, baby, you're my favorite melody. The sound of you is heavenly. I said thank you to the heavens as I listen to my angels sing. When you go back inside and you able to sit back with yourself, when you able to sit down and reflect about, see, when you suppress the negative, right? Sometimes you forget and you don't remember until you get triggered. But when you go on a journey of sitting with yourself and pushing people out the way, people leaving your life, when you actually can sit with yourself and evaluate how you feel, why you feel, or you can acknowledge, the peace. You can see the peace, the heaven, the calmness, the calming of your spirit. When you are in tune with you, you can pretty much distinguish when the situation come up, what's not yours and what's somebody else. When you had a lot of time to sit with yourself, sometimes you gotta a lot of times you're gonna have to push distractions out the way. You gotta push distractions out the way. You gotta be able to, I see what you said, AR. You have to be able to be comfortable with yourself, sit with yourself, and find out who you are. When you've done that, you'll be able to know that's not my feelings. And why am I being triggered about what you say? Because, see, when that uncomfortableness comes up, it make you want to act a certain way if you don't know, if you don't have an idea of it being a problem. It's like you find yourself conforming to what you give power to it. And this is going back to the color red. If you don't find or see power within yourself, it's easy to give it to somebody else. Like, you gave a lot of attention, a lot of affection, a lot of respect to somebody that you feel is more valuable than you. And when you do that, you tend to get off balance. You will get off balance. I hear that. I hear it. That's where the war and conflict come from. And it's, okay, I hear you, God. I had to take care of my younger brother when I was younger, and my parents were not around most of the time when I was younger. So you had to wear this. You had to wear you had to get independent. So a lot of things you had to learn on your own through experience, through school, through you being the adult, because they wasn't around to really teach you certain things about certain situations because they had to work. You said, I'm adopted now by amazing people. Thank God for my adoption, my adopted parents, and I have an amazing boyfriend. Oh, that's beautiful. I remember the first love be everything. Lord have mercy. You learn a lot from your first love. I know I did. You learn a lot from your first love. Ooh-wee. 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 So, when you lash out, it's because you still hurt from something. When you can figure out what you're hurt from, you can handle certain situations a lot differently. Going to emotional stability and resilience. So, excuse me. When you learn to manage and regulate your emotions, going inward, knowing how you feel, why you feel this way, going off in experiences that help mold you to think and feel the way you feel, you can be able to take away and you can be able to subtract and add what you need and what you don't. So going into the resilience of managing those emotions and through situations and things that you ain't never been through, stressful situations. So you can bounce back. You can bounce back when you've done the healing work. It's all about healing. It's all about healing. It's all about loving yourself and knowing what's important to you. What is it that you value the most? It's okay to go outside yourself and evaluate and observe, but always come back to yourself to make sure if it's okay for you to accept what you've been introduced to. It's always okay to go out and explore the cave as long as you know that there's a way out, as long as you know that you're safe, as long as you know that you can come back to being safe. Resilience is when you emotionally stable, you can bounce back from setbacks and disappointments when you feeling overwhelmed, when something not going your way, or you're not getting the outcome that you want. Whenever you could sit back and say, when a person say to you something that you don't like, and whenever you can have control over how you say and do what you like, how you respond, whenever you have that control, whenever you have that control, you know, help me. Okay, I see you. I see what you're talking about. And look, that picture got red lipstick on it. Ain't that something? Talking about power here. Once you can sit in your power and know your power, and you know you've been right and proven right, you don't have to go back and forth with no one. You don't have to argue with no one. When you've been proved time and time again on what was right, based off of what God has given you, based off of experiences, it say, let him bury his face in the dust. There might still be hope for him. Let him turn his cheek toward those who would slap him. Let him be filled with shame. Eventually, when you stand in your power, can't nobody take you off your square. Can't nobody tell you wrong about how you felt. If you express how you felt in the best way that you felt, you express the way you felt. When you stand in your power and you set with yourself and you've healed and you love yourself and you've been given love and you know what love look like, and somebody trying to show you that show you their form and way of love, you don't have to accept that if it's not good enough. And you knowing that it's not good enough, you don't have to sit with that. You can sit back and say, okay, well, I think this is not good for me. I've evaluated everything from all scales of the corner. I listen to your side of the story, and I also value my side of the story because I sat with myself long enough throughout the years, even though you don't have to explain that with nobody, but I'm explaining it for somebody that's asking that in spirit, because I'm picking up something in spirit and see how great his faithful love is. He doesn't want to bring pain or suffering. You know your intentions as well. When your intentions is well and you communicate the best way you can, you being very loving and understanding. When you are loving and understanding and you feel like you was always positive about it, you did what was best for you. When you always do what's best for you in consideration of the other person, or not at some point, but when you know, or and when you come to the terms of knowing that you wasn't considering the other person's feelings 100%, and you then reflect, because it's gonna hit you, you know, it's gonna hit you that you wasn't considering other people, that you was being selfish, or because it's not gonna sit right with you at some point, especially when your emotions involved. When your emotions involved and you care about somebody or care about people, it's gonna trigger something, gonna trigger within you to look at how things have played out, to look at what was said, who said what, how did you respond, how did you take it, when you get that, I'm hearing premonition. Let me go into the definition of premonition. Definition of premonition. So premonition is a strong feeling that something is about to happen, especially something unpleasant. And most times when your system is disrupted, you feel like you did something, or you feel like something ain't right, or you didn't get the outcome that you was looking for. So when that trigger happened, when that premonition happened, you tend to reflect. You tend to feel an emotion connected to something. And if you sit there long enough in the quiet, because you're not going to always be distracted with people. Most people that like to go out and party, they go and use that as a way to cope, but forgetting that the most important thing that they need to do is to sit with themselves, to be able to allow those emotions to come to the surface, so that way you can figure it out how you need to stable the emotion of whatever it is that you're feeling. So going back to, I hear you, God. Hey Ryan. Hi Paulette. Blessings, peace, and love to you. Those of you that's on my channel, if you can hit that like button, that'd be great, because I know somebody gonna need this, and just by y'all hitting that like button, it's gonna pull the right people in for them to get what they need. So when you emotionally stable, you tend to learn and have the ability to develop. You end up developing in the process ways to manage and regulate your emotions when you effectively. Let me say that again, because I'm getting a message and I want to make sure I communicate clearly. Lord, I ask you in Jesus' name for the clarity of the messages that you're giving me. In Jesus' name of Nazareth, I pray. Amen. So emotional stability refers to an individual's ability to manage and regulate their emotions effectively. And you do this by demonstrating resilience. And then when I went into resilience, resilience is you bounce back real quick from setbacks and disappointments and things that don't make you feel like you're winning. But in the end, when you've managed to sit with yourself, heal yourself, love yourself, find out where the trigger is, when you've gone across the board to evaluate the situation, to see how it played out, you thinking about what you said, did you say what you needed to say, or was it communicated properly, did you get the feedback you was looking for? When you able to sit back and evaluate all of those things, you pretty much can come out level-headed and resilient, because you then come to the terms like, okay, you'll know what you need to do. You know how to do it. Sometimes if you don't have the answers right then and there, it's not going to be overnight that you get it, if you're not all the way up top tier spiritually to be able to get the answers quick enough. Maybe you haven't went through enough situations of that situation pertaining to a cousin. Like you know how you have a cousin that's not your blood. It's your blood, but it's not your brother. It's not your sister. It's not the first thing you go through. It's like a cousin too. It's like you have to have multiple situations to be able to get the experience you need to be able to handle a situation that's equivalent to it. That's why I said cousin too. So it may not be the same situation, but it's similar to the same situation, because you always find yourself at a state or a place in your life where you had to sit back to reflect your emotions, or you always been in a place where you always lashing out at people, feeling like you got to defend yourself, feeling like you got to stand up for yourself, or feeling withdrawn. Let's go talk there. Let's go there, because a lot of people shut down when they don't have the words to say, or when they gave so much power, going back to red, when you give so much power to somebody else and you don't realize your own, or you haven't sat in your own power, or you haven't sat in your own truth. When you give the power and authority to somebody else, then that's when you tend to cave in like a little wet puppy outside on the porch, or outside lost because you're not getting the love you need, or you're not getting the understanding that you need. Red leads to, or is linked to, anger, hostility, and conflict. You see red, and it don't always mean that you got a fist fight with somebody. Hi Chris Ripple. It don't mean you always got a fist fight with somebody, but when you think about anger, anger comes from, let's go into it, God, I'm hearing. So before I go into anger issues, I'm going to talk about anger. Anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. When you go into anger, you're provoked by something. You can feel someone with anger by provoking. They done provoked you to the point where you haven't had that much experience, or you had the same experience, just you've never been taught how to see it in a different way. Why are you so upset? What made you so upset? What happened to you in your past that you haven't let go, that you tend to act out in anger? Why are you so upset? Why are you so withdrawn? Why weren't you able to let go of what somebody else did to you if it wasn't your fault? If you exercise every piece of way that you can behave, as far as giving somebody whatever it is they need, you've been kind, you've been there, you've been communicating the best way you can, you've been trying to find the even balance of how things supposed to go. If you feel you did everything you needed to do, there's no way you should be feeling sad about somebody else's actions towards not understanding how it is they you was, what it is, or how it is things supposed to be in your eyes, or what would be satisfying as far as the outcome of what you was trying to perceive, or what you was trying to happen or want to happen. If it didn't work out and you know you did your best, you should be able to let go what is not of you. When you have set with yourself, that's where that resilience come in at. That's where the experience of, oh, I've been there, done that. See, the older you get, the wiser you get. You understand what don't kill you make you stronger. Yeah, when you got your heart open, if you able to love and have emotions for somebody or something, that means your heart chakra not blocked. That means that you done the work on yourself, with yourself. You sat with yourself to be able to sit back and kill off or push away people that was giving you the pain and trauma that you had dealt with or was dealing with. Stuff that hurt you, you was able to let that go. You was able to forgive. Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the key. If you still holding on to what somebody did to you, you haven't forgave them. And if you're in the spot or place where you don't want to let go, or you don't want to forgive them, then you need to heal real good. You need to really heal. And I want to talk about that. Let's talk about that, because I'm seeing where God wants me to go with this. What is healing? Healing, it refers to the process of regaining health and your well-being, whether it's physical, whether emotional, or spiritual. Your whole spiritual side is gone. You don't even feel the same way no more because you haven't healed. It's like if you hold on to what somebody else did to you, you is blocking what is good to come. You got to be able to let it go. But you tend to keep running into people, places, and things that keep triggering what you feel you can't let go. But you holding on to that is what's pulling in and drawing in that energy. But at the same time, that's only a percentage of it that's pulling in that energy. That's not fully everything pulling in that energy of what you holding on to, because sometimes you're not even aware you holding on to it until you get triggered. Go figure, you were the trigger. You brought me to an obstructed view, so I knew the picture was bigger. Who am I kidding? Knew from the beginning that you ruined everything you... Oh, I gotta hit it. What is that? That's triggered. Going back to triggered. That's Janae Oko. Janae. Janae. Ah, here we go. I'm going to sing that song. Go figure. You were the trigger. You brought me to an obstructed view. When you knew the picture was bigger. Who am I kidding? Knew from the beginning that you ruin everything. You do it every time. You are my enemy. You are no friend of mine. And then that's how you grow bitter because you're not able to let go. You can't hold on to somebody else's lack of understanding. It's like when you've done your best, when you've communicated the best, you got to understand when you sit with yourself and you evaluate everything, it's not your fault. You got to be able to let that go. You got to be able to see it like, that's not my problem. Because it's not. It's not your problem that they didn't see what you was trying to say. That's their lack of understanding, not yours. If it was coming out your mouth and you understand it, or if you was to say it to somebody else, they understand it. Meaning if you get confirmation after confirmation that you tried, you did, you're okay. It's not your fault. It should be easy to let go to where it won't hurt you if you make a decision to walk away or leave it alone. But it's still gonna be some hurt there. Okay? It's gonna always be some hurt there because you wanted it to work out in your favor, but that's part of human nature. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's just how it is. You wanted it, you couldn't get it. And then that leads to something else. It leads to why you always go in that direction. That don't mean something wrong with you because you keep getting smacked with a brick. Sometimes when you keep coming in that same direction, that means that you need to stand your ground. Most times it means you need to stand your ground on what's the truth, especially if you've been getting feedback that is good and is working. She said, okay, going back to red lipstick. Nope, I hear you, God. Consistent mood. So emotional responses are generally appropriate to the situation and they don't experience dramatic mood swings. This is what is involved with emotional stability. A consistent mood. When you know how you are and you stand in your power of knowing who you are, first of all, know who you is. You that deal. And that don't, just because you are that deal or you are a rare breed or because you are powerful or because it's not always your fault. When you know this, it's easy to let go. It's easy to stand in your power and truth. Let's go to power. Power. It's easy to say, okay, well, all right, well. It's easy to bounce back. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back. Let's talk about a woman letting a relationship go. When you know you beautiful, when you know you a good catch, when you know you ain't got no problem with no man coming right after the last one, if you know that it's not going to cause you no type of stress to have somebody in that spot, it's easy to say, okay, because you got proof, you got confirmation that you're beautiful, because the different people that you've interacted with, you've been told, or your dad told you, you're a beautiful person, you're wonderful, you're smart, you're intelligent. You done got confirmation that you're wifey material. You done got confirmation that you don't have no major issues with you, and most of the time you communicate properly, You're very intelligent. You do what you're supposed to do. You're goal driven. Things that people look at and have told you and gave you confirmation in. It's not hard if one disagree, or if you had quite a few people disagree. That shouldn't make you change who you are. Sometimes you do have to watch how much you give out. It said it won't happen unless the Lord had planned it. So sometimes God will allow you to go through the same situations for you to stand in your power and stand in your truth. Sometimes God will allow you to go through the same situation to see that you're not always right. You need to learn something from this person, because each person comes with different things. I don't care if you got attracted to the same issue or the outcome end up always being the same. It's still something in that individual that you've learned about yourself. And if you haven't come to that realization when you come across people, it should be something that you consider, so that way you can be able to learn and grow and prosper and move forward without staying stuck. Because the minute you stay stuck, you stuck. It's like when you stay stuck, you're not growing. When you don't open your mind up to a different perspective, you stay stuck. When you stay surface based shallow, you going off of shallow things, you stay stuck. You got to be open to learning different ways to breathe. Tell me how I'm gonna breathe with no air. Can't live, can't breathe with no air. No air, no air. Air is everywhere. Everywhere you walk, you can breathe. If you stay shallow, definition of shallow. Got me out here in the water so deep. Tell me how I'm gonna breathe without me. No air, no air. Shallow means of little depth. You gotta go beyond the surface. When you dig deep within yourself, you can explore the still waters run deep. You can't walk up to everybody, especially when you a deep thinker. You got to think things through, you know. When you sit with yourself, you can be able to think like, well, why do I feel this way? Well, did I do what I was supposed to do? Did I say what I was supposed to say? And if you have those thoughts where you feel like you haven't said what you had to say, it's too late now. Don't feel like you have to go back, especially if it's gone. You don't. If you left a job, you can't go back to those people trying to cuss them out. If you ain't say what you wanted to say or thought you should have said in the moment, it's gone now. Now you know if that situation come up again, and like I was going back to, most times God will put you through the same situation again so you can handle it better. Maybe he trying to tell you about yourself. You need to speak up. Not saying that you should bring the house down, but maybe you need to bring the house down. Maybe somebody do need to see that they was wrong. You know, maybe if you stand in your power to be able to stand up in your truth, maybe they'll be able to see it. It might not, the situation that you facing or seeing in that moment may not turn out to work in your favor, but eventually it will, because you're being used to help the other person grow, whether you realize that or not. Some people, not all people that are sent to your life are just dumb and retarded to the point where they can't sit back and reflect how the last situation happened or the situation that went through with you happened. Not everybody not gonna just come in your life like that. Like, or they like, some people not like that. You got some that will, you got some that don't. So it's best that you stand in your power, even if your outcome wasn't for them to see the truth or not. You need to stand in your truth so you can know you are that deal. You need to stand in your power to know, I need to get this off my chest. I need to say what I need to say, because I don't want to have to reflect and sit back in this moment or those moments again where I'm sitting back like, dang, I should have said that. Or you getting flashbacks of the situation, and now you getting upset because you ain't say what you need to say, And the more you don't get to say what you need to say, you tend to withdraw. So when somebody else come at you like that again, or the situation come up like that again, you won't build that habit of being quiet and sitting in the corner like you just got shunned, like you just got quiet, like your whole throat chakra just got snatched out your throat. No, that same situation gonna keep coming to you until you learn that you need to say, no, I don't like that. No, I don't agree with that. Don't just get along to get along, because then when you get to sitting with yourself, you got to remember, you always got to come back to your home. It's okay to go outside yourself, but you gonna have to come back to yourself. You gonna have to sit with yourself. You gonna have these thoughts when you like, dang, I did do that, I didn't handle that right. You gonna have to sit with yourself. I don't care how many times you try to go out and distract yourself with drinking and smoking and going out with people or hanging out with family. You still got to come back and sit with yourself. That's where the healing work need to be done. That's where you need to self-reflect. You need to evaluate how you feel, what's going on, why I even feel like that. Going back to Trey Songz, red lipstick. Ooh, and nothing ever felt too right. 'Cause I never knew that a touch could taste and a kiss could feel so good. And there is nothing like your lips. Hold on. There is nothing like your lips. They taste like candy. Make me wanna work to make you happy. That's my throat. Hold on. And then it say, so please put it on. I love when it's on. And I'ma kiss you till it's gone. And I'ma kiss you till it's gone. Girl, you know. And that part right there, singing that part, when that I'm thinking about the inner you, the comfort you feel when you let it go, when you walk away, when you're able to evaluate how you feel. You get to a calm state, you get to a peace state, you're able to accept it. It is what it is. Okay, well, maybe you have noticed some lies, or maybe you did pick up on somebody being untruthful, or maybe you did pick up on some deceptiveness, which all ties together. Maybe you did miss saying something, or maybe you did say something wrong. When you able to get to that place, once you've even evaluating yourself, evaluating you, the other person, the place, the thing, when you able to come back to that point where you can be like, okay, well, I accept it. It is what it is. You gotta fight when you in the uncomfortable. And when you're in the uncomfortable place, you gotta fight to get to a place where you can find peace and positive out of it. Even if you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, dang, I was wrong. Dang, I did look at it wrong, or I didn't do that right. I don't know why this keep coming up. I don't know why I keep accepting things like that. I don't know why I keep looking at things like that. Well, it said they threw stones down at me. The water rose and covered my head. I thought I was gonna die. Sometimes looking at yourself make you feel like that. I'm reading out of the books of the Bible of Lamentations, and this is chapter 3. It say they threw stones down at me. The water rose and covered my head. I thought I was gonna die. So Lord, I called out to you. I called out from the bottom of the pit. I prayed, please don't close your ears to my cry for help. Going back to the Lord, when you can get to that peace, because only God can give you peace. Only God can give you that love to heal your heart when you've been heartbroken. Only God can do that. God can place the right type of people in your ear to show you, in your ear and on your life, in your life, to show you that you are loved, that you can be loved, that you was enough, and that maybe you need to see it this way. Somebody that can give you some good advice, somebody that can hold you and kiss on you when you in a state of sadness or grief, or you got good people that God sent to you. And when you a believer of God, you can pray to God to help you be able to see the situation in a positive, great light. When you're a believer of God, God can take away a lot of pain. And God can also forgive you for the things that you've done wrong, so you won't hold on to the guilt and the shame of. But you have to first be met with the shame and guilt of, or the positiveness of, or the in-depth of whatever it is that you need to see in order for you to get to a place where you can be like, okay, I'm happy, I'm good now I can carry on through life. Not to say that your life was ever going to stop anyway, but now you can move with a lot more speed in your pace. Now you can move and at the speed you need to be able to move at, to be able to get the goal accomplished. Now you can put all that energy that you was giving somebody else, or all that power that you gave to somebody else, now you can put that back in yourself. Now you can get that back to yourself, because of God, being the believer that you are, that things is going to be okay, that you going to be all right, that somebody else going to come along and they're going to be better than the last guy. And yes, you are beautiful, and yes, you are handsome, and yes, you are making the money you need to make to be able to hold the foundation that you need to hold in place in order for you to be where you need to be and go after the dreams you need to pursue. Now you can get that back to yourself once you've been reflecting on things that you need to heal. Maybe somebody in your family didn't treat you right, and so now everybody that you come across, you feel like because that was the way that you had seen things that had been in your household, that's the way you're supposed to be treated. No, then God would send somebody to tell you, no, baby, you're not wrong. Don't sit up there and let that man talk to you like that. Don't sit up there and let that woman treat you like that. God will send somebody to show you a whole different way of how things are supposed to be, versus if you watching a TV show, a podcast. Most of the stuff that's being displayed on TV, that's a lot of us don't want to see it. But at the same time, with the devil meant for harm, God always turn around for your good, because what you see on TV, you like, oh, they crazy for going through that. I could never. You know not to be like that. You know not to act like that. You know that's not what you want in your life. So you won't have to accept that, because it's being shown to you something that you disagree with. And when you sit up there and evaluate certain things that you do like, don't like, will do, won't do, you'll be able to sit in your power. So when you get all that power back, you could be able to chase after the goals that you need to chase after with no distractions. Power. Red means power. Red means love, passion, and excitement. Now you can give that to yourself. You being the main target on what you need to focus on. You, what makes you happy? How can you give more love to yourself? And when you feel like you're overflowing with love, you go out into the world and you open your heart up to love. God will show you through some other people or person. You never shut your heart down. This is why you're beautiful. Continue to keep radiating in this love, but protect your heart, because the Bible says that. And I'm going to go to the verse of when he say protect your heart, not block your heart, not move, don't not move, do not move uncautiously. Of course, move cautiously, but don't block out your heart. Protect your heart. Of course. And a way to protect your heart in a healthy way is by letting go everything that hurt you before. Even if you don't want to forgive somebody, you got to think about this too, because when you was sent and you was the karma for somebody, or you was the karma for people losing their job, and that wasn't your intentions, you was thinking about yourself being selfish in the moment. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't care. God forgave you and blessed you with people that cared about you. So you gonna have to extend that out to somebody else. Because if you want God to continue to do that for you, you're gonna have to do the same thing for somebody else. It's an equal giving balance. For your spirit to radiate highness of a high vibrational of recepting due to the manifestations that you want to pull in. Protecting your heart, Bible verse, it says, The most direct Bible verse about protecting your heart is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. The way you treat somebody, the way you love somebody. Ooh, Jesus. I love this message. I can't wait to go back on this message. The way you pursue your goals, the way you understand what you learn. So, going back to that Bible verse, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Highlighting that the heart as the source of one's action and your character. You got to watch who you talk to. You got to watch who you love. That don't mean shut your heart down. You just got to be a lot more cautious of who you give it to. If you know they a slut bag or a skeezer, or you know they gonna treat you wrong, don't open your heart up to somebody that's unemotionally available when you're available to love. When you're available to love, you don't just give out your love to anybody. If you want to be my lover, you gotta be with my friend. Where in the world is Spice Girls coming from? Anywho, that is hilarious. When you're emotionally available, you don't go and open your heart to somebody that's unemotionally available. And if you do, you don't give them all your love by chasing them, because they not open to the love that you're gonna give. That's toxic love and healthy love are two different types of love. Okay? Healthy love and toxic love is two totally different things. And if you always on a healthy state of giving, a healthy mindset of giving love, you gotta be and stand in your power on that type of love being given back to you. You can't fix nobody. I'm telling you that right now, because you're gonna hurt yourself in the process by definitely running after somebody that's unemotionally available. You're gonna be doing stuff you ain't never did. You're gonna be communicating and just going out your way to try to prove that you are lovable. And they already know you're lovable. They just not in a state of mind to give you what you want. So when you in a state of where they can't give you what you want, you gonna have to be able to, if you still want them in your life, you gonna have to be able to give in doses, cautiously. Okay, because when you give too much of yourself, now you treating other people how somebody else treated you, based off of you being mad that you gave up too much. See, you gotta give in doses. You can't give all your love to an unemotional person. That's in every aspect. That's woman, auntie, cousins, mama, grandma. They not showing you the same type of love. Everybody have a different way of love language. Once you work or found out somebody's love language, that's why it's good to get to know people. If they always displaying the same type of thing, accept it for what it is. Accept it for what it is. And be willing to go into a whole nother direction to get what you want. I don't care how long you gotta wait. And most of you that are so impatient on getting what you want, you tend to run into those same lessons because is you want what you want. And as a human, I don't blame you. But at the same time, I do blame you. Because you have the wisdom and knowledge and understanding to know that you're a lot more intelligent than that. And that you do deserve more than that. And just because, I ain't saying don't risk. You do have to take a chance. But don't take on the victim mentality of feeling like you're not worthy of love because you chose to take the risk. But don't feel like you shouldn't take the risk, because you should never give up on love if that's what you have. It's a Matthews chapter 15 verses 18 through 19 explains that what comes out of your mouth defiling a person, it originates from your heart. including evil thoughts, murder, adultery, and other sins. You hating somebody. First of all, hate is a strong word, baby. You need to go heal. Everybody didn't hurt you. Once you realize that you're not the source of your own pain because you choose to love, once you realize that it's not your fault that you're a loving person and that you have gave the amount of love that you're supposed to give, and it's in anything. If I'm talking about with school, you did your best. You tried to sit and study. You know, you can do more, but sometimes that can also be a lesson from God too, to tell you that you got more in you. You just place some limitations on yourself. And the reason why most of the situations come up the way they come up is because you need to learn to stop limiting yourself when you're so much more than what you see based off your experience. Sometimes you need to get triggered so you could be able to pull the beast about you. Sometimes you need to get triggered to be able to see that you was worth it all along. It was worth it all along. That you're going in the right direction. You needed to go through being told no. You needed that to some certain extent. Not to the ones that didn't deserve or needed to go through what they needed to go through. You need to pray, because the devil is a bad mamma jamma. The devil want to take you out because of the power that you do hold. You got to understand, there's a light side and a dark side, and the devil will try to take you out if you've always been loving. If it's hard to change you, you still got love. You're still going to pursue your goals and your dreams. You're still willing to open up your heart to somebody and to whatever it is. You're willing to explore different cities and states, and you're willing to give hugs and help somebody out when you ain't got it. The devil want to try to stop you as much as possible. The devil want to make you hurt even more so you can cave in and don't do the goodness of God that you have been doing. If the devil can help you withdraw, then he has succeeded. He has done what he was supposed to do. You gotta understand, people got demons in them that they not willing to face. And you gotta be the one to face yours, so that way when you meet people that haven't met or came up to the realization of the demons that they have, you can be able to set yourself apart. Oh, you're not good for me, gotta go. Oh, this job not good for me, gotta go. Oh, matter of fact, these people in here is toxic. I'm gonna sit here just enough until God open up the door for me in another direction. You keep giving love, showing love, but protect your heart. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, above all else, I don't care what go on. I don't care what they saying is sweet nothings in your ear. I don't care what type of person is telling you they're going to give you all type of benefits at the job. Don't take it for face value. You got to be able to have discernment to see in between the lines. Sometimes it's not going to hit you until it's supposed to hit you at the right time. Above all else, guard your heart. Don't put all your work and effort into a place where you ain't going nowhere. Why would you put all your time and effort into something that's not going to prosper? Relationships, job, a career. But even if you did all that, it was going to work out in your better good anyways, because it's teaching you that that's not something you want. I thought I wanted to go to school to be a medical assistant, but I realized after I got the degree that it's hard to find a job. You don't know just by you taking the risk that was the door to open up for you later on down the line. You to learn some things that you wasn't able to get taught by your parents. You to learn some things that was being able to get taught from you going through it yourself. Sometimes you just got to experience, because experience is the best teacher. For some people, you can't talk and tell everybody everything because they're not going to understand it from your point of view, or you're not going to perceive it in the way that you're supposed to receive it, because the simple fact is you've only been taught 5 ways when it's 10 ways to skin a cat. You got to go through certain things. You're just going to have to keep detoxing. Tune into your inner self. Going back to the song, the color red. Red as a color is strongly associated with a wide world of meanings. Love, passion, excitement, But it also can mean danger, anger, and even war with yourself, with others. When you knowing that there's always a positive side and an evil side, you have so much control over what you give your energy to. You have so much control over how you want things to go. If you figure out how much of your energy you want to pour into either side. Because sometimes you got to smack somebody to let them know, stop playing with me. Sometimes you got to stand up and say, I said no. Sometimes you got to raise your voice and let people know, I'm not the one. I'm talking about your kids too. And you don't have to even say it with that much aggression, but you have to be assertive. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to pull it about you. Sometimes you got to get triggered in that way to know how you're supposed to carry out certain things that need to be carried out in the way it needs to be carried out. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up for the mistake. It's not the end all be all. The older you get, the wiser you get. It says, love is a classic symbol of love and romance. Continue to love. If it didn't work out, somebody else will come along. If it didn't work out, you can always, sometimes, and I'm going back to what if it didn't work out. If it didn't work out, that don't mean give up on it. Because it can be a whole business that you just started, but you lost the passion and excitement. Red, right? You lost your true essence of what was important. You done got distracted from the world because the world was showing you one thing and you wasn't tuning into how you felt or what you feel was best for you. Nobody was there to guide you in that area. Sometimes sit back and reflecting and going and looking at yourself. You'll get that motivation you need. And say, it's a powerful color that can signify both positive and negative emotions. Red, you are the target. That's why God gave me red lipstick. That red lipstick song. Valentine's Day done came early. And whatever you want, girl, you deserve it. Cause you're warmer than the summertime, so I hold you through the wintertime. And the love inside your eyes could turn a cloudy day to sunshine. Yes, that all that passion inside of you can move mountains. All of that passion in you can be able to get you to a place you ain't never been within the last 2 years. All that love in you can be able, all that love and passion within you can be able to help you forgive people when they have shortcomings. All that love God give you, first of all, God is love. For those that don't know or don't remember, God is love. God pouring that love into you, you'll be able to move mountains. Mountain high, valley low. You can move all through the stove. Hey. Okay, I love this word. It won't happen unless the Lord has planned it. Sometimes you don't go through things by accident. Okay? You don't go through things by accident a lot of times. Once you distinguish who sent this, who is this, who sent you, why is this here? Once you realize that there's a light and there's a dark, there's a God and there's a devil. There are demons. We have a lot of angels. But there are demonic angels and there are angelic angels. Angels that will not turn on God. And angels that did turn on God. You got to figure out and evaluate which ones is carrying what. Where is this energy coming from, baby? Once you realize and figure that out and face your own demons, and realize your own power on the angelic level. Once you've come to those terms, it's easier for you to make certain decisions in your life that will help you prosper, bring you back to a center of peace. Want your pretty red lips, girl, you know what you do to me. When you love yourself enough, you can sit in the essence of the beauty that lies within. So, when you got that red lipstick on, baby, kiss me till your lipstick gone. Whatever satisfies you. What is satisfying to you? What makes you feel at peace? Whatever makes you happy. what makes you feel passionate enough to accomplish the goal, it is better. It'll be great. It'll be reflective to you all the way around the board. However which way you want that to go, which way how you need it to flow. You're gonna need love to be able to, in a healthy way. You're gonna need love to grow. You're gonna need love to be successful in all areas of your life. Once you sat with yourself and you realize it's not your fault, well, I tried, you'll get more fuel, more peace, more happiness, more love to be able to go do it again in a healthier way, in a cautious way, or in a way that will start something new. Don't let that passion burn out. Cause nothing ever felt so right. I never knew that a love could taste. What do you say? Let me say the word again. What do you say? Cause I never knew. Where is it? I want to say the word because I just like saying it too. You deserve. I make them. Cause I never knew that a love could taste and a kiss can feel so good. Cause there is nothing like your lips. They taste like candy. Make me wanna work to make you happy. So please put it on. I love when it's on. And I'ma kiss you till it's gone. Girl, you know, gotta get that love to yourself. You do. Woo. I like that song. I know that song saying something else, but the way I'm seeing it, you can't, when you look at certain situations, you can't be able to just see it one way. It's multiple different ways to skin a cat. It's multiple different ways to see an answer, to get an answer. It's multiple different answers to a lot of math problems if you don't be so shallow. You got to go into the in-depths of things. And if it's causing you too much or feeling like you're doing too much to even think on that scale, then that means you limiting your self-beliefs. You limiting yourself on how much you can grow. You limiting yourself on how much you can gain. You're limiting yourself on how powerful you truly are. Hey, Lisa, blessings, peace, and love. What happened if you don't have faith? That's another thing. You're going to lack in all areas. You got no faith? What's wrong with you? It's like, but yeah, faith is a big thing. Lisa, you said try changing the word faith to determination, and you should have the answer. There you go, Lisa. Now let me tell you something. So faith is built through actively engaging with spiritual practices and teachings, and by trusting in a higher power or belief system. That's how you got to know God, baby. You got to know that there are angels, angelic angels, that are working on your behalf. You got to know that the people that passed away are still alive. You got to know that. You got to have a spiritual belief in something. Not something. Lord have mercy. I say God. God in heaven. The living heaven and earth. I'm reading out the Bible. I always read out the Bible. This God that's in this Bible. You got to have a belief. You got to believe in Jesus, baby. Those are the most highest, purest form of faith, of love, of peace, of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You hear me? There are many gods, but the one true living God is a jealous God of those gods, because those gods are not powerful than the one true living God. You understand? He didn't say you can't go into those other gods and get advice or read up on how powerful they was, or He didn't say you couldn't do that. But what he's saying is don't put no other God before me, because I'll tell you and them the gods now. I'll let you live and work under those other gods, and you gonna see what's up. Ooh, girl, you know what's up, and you know what I mean. Ooh, what's up, what's up, what's up? You know that I like it, baby. Ooh, you know what's up. Ooh, feeling you, I'm feeling you. Say what, say what, say what? God knows what's up, baby. I hear you. It said the Lord has placed the load on him. Let him bury his face in the dust. There might still be hope for him. In other words, God gonna let you try out those other gods, and once you get buried or hurt in the ways that God wouldn't do, the one true living God in heaven, once you realize and you seek after knowing who he is, and he ain't gonna put you through certain things. You ain't gonna have to sacrifice certain things, or you know what I'm saying? You do have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to renew your mind every day. You know what I'm saying? That that God in heaven, our God and our Father in heaven that gave Jesus Christ as a sacrifice, once you realize who he is and the power he holds, and he's an unlimited God, because the other gods are limited. They can't do what the God in heaven can do. Once you realize, you'll be able to prosper in ways you ain't never prospered. You'll be able to get what you need to get. Be who you need to be. Be blessed all your days. It say trouble and good things alike come to people, because the Most High, God, has commanded them to come. God has the final say so. That God in heaven has the final say so. The one that created you in heaven, the living God, the one who gave Jesus to us, okay? He had the last say so at the end of the day. And remember to repent, because if you don't, you're going to pay for it. Lord have mercy. Not to say that you ain't going to pay for your actions, but Lord, something about when you get to praying, I need just a little more Jesus to help me along the way. It says, so I pray, please don't close your ears to my cry for help. You came near when I call out to you. You said, do not be afraid. Only God can do that, baby. God can tell you and talk to you and give you what you need to be able to thrive in the area and pieces, peace that you need to thrive into, to be able to get up and fight another day. You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day. When he said, I'm a man without it. I'm a man without it. I don't need that. God will show you. You never needed that in the first place. You don't need to be holding on to all that trauma. That's not even my true essence of what I wanted you to experience. You chose to do that because you have free will to do what you want to do. You have free will to believe what you want to believe. You have free will to take and see it the way you want to see it. I'm not going to come up against that until you come to me. Hey, Andrew, until you come to me wholeheartedly and have faith, I'll be able to show you what you need to see. Knowledge and wisdom. So when you seek guidance, right, God will lead you to mentors and teachers that are very insightful and give you the right direction you need. You got to ask God for discernment. But when you ask for discernment, be able to have the strength to be able to accept what he give you and show you. Because he going to tell you, when you ask, is this person good for me? No, they're not. And you done got your heart involved. Guard your heart. Guard your heart. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. When you ask God, is this the right job for me? I opened the door, but it wasn't meant for you to stay here that long. You know, you were supposed to learn what you needed to learn and that was it. You wasn't supposed to stay here your whole life. You were supposed to open. You supposed to go do something else. But now you don't have the fulfillment you truly seek because you're not happy with what you accepted. But I gave you the free will to choose whatever you want to choose because that's what you want to do. You can do what you want to do. But if you ask me, you gonna limit how much pain you go through. You gonna limit how much deception you go through. I'm gonna be able to tell you the lies or show you the lies before the lies even get in progress. I'm gonna show you who not good for you. I'm gonna show you where you need to be. I'm gonna guide you where you need to be. But I'm also teach you patience along the way because it's not gonna be your way. You can't tell me what to do. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're going to have faith and believe in me. I'm going to tell you and guide you right, but you got to trust and have loyalty unto me in order for me to give you what you need. You got to have faith. Can you believe and see what's not there? Can you believe just because you don't see me in a human form, can you believe I'm there? That when you fall and scrape your knee, I'm gonna be there to pick you up. Jesus is there for a reason. Jesus is there for a reason. Do you even believe in Jesus enough to accept him as your Lord and Savior? Have you even seek to find the knowledge that I hold that is of great significant value? You know? You gonna sin. It's in human nature because you was born from sin, okay? And we got cursed a long time ago for that. So I mean, just because you doing sinful things don't mean that God turned his back from you. But sinful things do keep you from God if you're not repentant. He gonna let you do your thing. Stand in the background. When you don't get no answer, then you gonna see. Wait, hold on, it don't feel right. Why I feel like God, I'm praying to you and I'm not getting the answer. It's because you're hard-headed, boy. But at the same time, just because you're hard-headed don't mean I don't love you. I just need you to self-reflect because all this time I've been trying to tell you to stop doing something, or all this time I've been trying to get you to see this, or all this time you have been seeing it. You missing the message behind the message of the message, for the message is sent for you for a reason. You missing it. I'm going to keep giving you a chance because I'm a forgiving God. I'm a loving God. I'm a God that wants to see you prosper and not fail. I'm a God that's going to not leave you, although it may seem. But I ain't. I'm not. I didn't. Hello, host. Sounds though you are doing well, so I want to ask. Lisa, absolutely. Blessings, peace, and love. Do you like the rabbit or the rose better? The rabbit always catches up with the turtle. The turtle always catches up with the rabbit eventually. And the rose is still a rose, beautiful and still. I have to say, I like the rose better because a rose is still a rose. A rose is beautiful and still. There's so much that can go into the in-depthness of a rose. And a rabbit, they move too fast. I'd rather grow slowly, being that rose. So I like the rose better than a rabbit because I'm an evolving person. And the petals of the rose symbolizes growth because it takes time. There's multiple different layers on the onion. And if you look at yourself, there's multiple different levels in life to grow. When you look at it from that point of view, you're never old. I like that. That's awesome. You always got time to grow. This is a beautiful word. I can't wait to hear this later. Girl, you know what you do to me when you got that red lipstick on. Baby, kiss me till your lipstick's gone. See, most people when they hear that song, they just thinking they see the shallowness of it. They see the surface base of it. Me, because I'm an in-depth person, I look at it from all angles. And in order for you to grow in the world, you got to be able to see it from different people's perspective. Unless that's just what you choose not to do. If you don't, if you don't do that, hey, you got to pick your own vices. What brings you peace? It won't happen unless the Lord is planned for it. I liked your live. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn. Brooklyn to real. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for hitting that like button as well too. I do appreciate that, and thank you for being here. I'm glad I can be of some significance, some type of wisdom to be able to help guide you or confirm whatever it is that you need to know. Um, I love doing this. I mean, like, I've never I don't plan for anything. I just go off of whatever the message is for the moment, the day, what's been leading up into the days, weeks of learning. And I'm proud to say that I am so grateful to have God in my life. I'm grateful to learn the lessons I learned, the experiences I experienced, the people I talk to on an everyday basis, because it helps me grow too. I like growing and evolving. I don't like standing still, and I'm not gonna stand still. And I don't like when other people are going through certain things that I find an answer to or I have an answer to. So that's another reason what pursued me to go to school to be a professional life coach, soon to be a therapist. So I got a lot of schooling to do, which is great. Life experiences is the greatest teacher. Sometimes you're gonna have to go through everything in life in order to get the outcome that you're looking for. But you do have to experience certain things in order for you to grow and see things from a different perspective. If you only have 5 ways of looking at it, there's always multiple other ways that you can learn to see it. You know, just gotta be open. Don't shut out your heart. Because what God was showing me too, and I love this, is that I have a beautiful heart. And I'm not gonna close that down because of things that was happening or had happened. Like, I forgive people. If I want God to forgive me when I do wrong or sin against him, honey, I forgive you. I'm gonna look at it. The reason why you need to look at it from multiple different angles is because you need to get to a state of peace where you can get out of the energy of feeling like it's your fault or you're losing or you're burdened. Once you can find different ways of looking at it, then it's easier for you to move on. It's easier for you to go to the next thing. It's easier for you to accept somebody else wholeheartedly. Everybody don't move like that. Everybody can't think like that. So you have to be the one. If you know other people are not like that, you should look at yourself in the mirror and be like that. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh yes, I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Na 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 na. I'm gonna make a change. And I realized that that's what makes me different, and I love me. Like, I don't know nobody like me for real. Like, but that helps me stand in my power a lot more because there's so many followers. When God has called you to be a leader, you got to step into that power, but you also got to accept the negative things that comes with that. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I appreciate that. All my endeavors in life, I thank you, God. But I've learned the biggest lesson too, and I love it. Like, even though the messages or the experiences do be painful, I can let them go. I can see them from a different perspective, and I could be able to get up again. If I scrape my knee, I know I can find the right type of ointment to be able to, the right type of logic, the right type of, You know, whatever situation it is, I can be able to bounce back. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. You hear? So I can always be able to bounce back. Because it be some, woof, Lord. And that's the best thing about growing. Being able to bounce back. You want to be that person. You want to be that, because people hurt you. People gonna hurt you. You're gonna have to accept that. But you have to limit how much energy you want to give out and how much hurt you gonna take. 7 whole days and I'm just about through. Let's open this Bible up and say, now concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our being gathered together to him, we ask you, brothers, not to be quickly shaken in mind or alarmed, either by a spirit or a spoken word or letter seeming to be from us, to the effect that the day of the Lord has come. Let no one deceive you in any way. Don't let nobody lie to you about who you are, about what you can obtain, about your growth and your changes. It don't matter what they used to know. It don't matter what you did in the past. If you can get up and dust yourself off and try again, because you're not going to always succeed the first time. Sometimes it takes the second, the third, or the fourth, and the fifth round. Once you can realize this, the better you'll be. The more you keep exercising this truth, the stronger you'll be in your power. Going back to the color red. It say, let no one deceive you in any way. For the day will come, unless the rebellion comes first, unless you go against your own judgment, and you chose to stop learning, and you chose to not trust, and you chose to make everybody upset. I mean, yeah. If you chose to act out of anger or difficulty, allowing everything to make you cry in a difficult way, when you allow this, it's your fault. You get to control how much you want to receive, but you got to seek the knowledge to be able to understand what it is you truly want, so you can have the defenses to be able to put the wall up or to fight back. You got to seek. You got to research. You got to seek. Listen. You have to. Especially when you don't want certain things to hurt you or bother you or throw you off or set you back or delay you. Let the delay be of the Lord, of God, and not because you did something wrong or because you had lack of knowledge. Research. I was looking into a thing today that I had knowledge of, but I forgot. And then I got brought back to it to see it in a different perspective just today. I was like, oh, okay, God. And it helped me be able to move myself to a whole nother place of maturity, emotional stability, emotional maturity. You can let it go and it don't hurt you or bother you no more. Oh, well, I've seen it from that point of view. Well, dang, it suck, I gotta let you go. I mean, I really do love. But it's not the best thing. When you can get to that point of understanding, oh, you a beast. You're very powerful. And you can get to the point where you be like, oh yeah, no, my time is up. Oh, maybe I need to withdraw my energy. Oh, maybe I need to be quiet this whole day, because if I give the energy to the wrong person, they might try to trigger me. Oh, maybe I need to go in and love on myself and do what I want to do to make me happy, because the minute I don't and I keep giving everybody me, I'm going to be a train wreck. You understand? If you learn to live with yourself, you ain't got to go out and party and be around people that you don't like. Or you ain't got to build certain relationships with people on the strength of because of what they can give you. If you learn to love yourself, if you learn to be with yourself, if you put God as the center of your life, you'll learn to, oh, it's okay. I can come see them, talk to them every now and then. Other than that, I love being at home by myself. Or I love working this job position by myself. Or I love being an entrepreneur. Or I love that I can have some peace and quiet, to myself after I put the kids to bed at a certain time. It's all depends on what works for you in your life. But when you get to that state, healthily, in a healthy way, you win every time. All right, that's the message. That's the message I got. That's all I got. Thank you, God. I appreciate you for giving me the word to be able to speak today. I can't wait to see this message. Oh, God, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I love you. This is beautiful. Man, I'm telling you, all this stuff I've been learning, I love it. I'm like, even when the bad stuff happened now, like, because I done went through it so much with, like, just terrible things or horrible things, discomfortable things or unsatisfying things, because I've gone through it so much, it's like I look forward to the ending after I realize something ain't going my favor or something ain't right, or I got rejected, or I got let go, or I let go, whatever aspect of whatever it is that I need to view it, I have the knowledge to be able to see it from that angle. You know what I'm saying? To get myself to the, and it's not called crazy. It's not called delusional to the fact of being in your own world. But you have to protect your heart and your bubble. But at the same time, you know a person that's off their rocker, and you know a person that's led by other people or care about what other people think. When you get to that stage of being to where you don't care about what other people think, oh baby, you are forced to be reckoned with. It's a whole different ball game here. When you learn your power and how much control you have over yourself, baby, and others, you're on a different level. The title of this live is, well, it's time for me to take a nap. Excuse me, I'm sorry for yarning all like that. The title of this live is, oh my God, I feel so much at peace. Like, I was already in a state of peace. But the more and more I talk about the truth, the more and more I see the truth, the more and more I do research, the more knowledge that I get to strengthen what I already know, or, you know, what I've been through, or don't want to go through, or need to experience it, or have it experienced, or, you know, by helping someone else. Oh man, it just gives you a whole nother thrive for life, a thirst for life. I'm grateful for that. Wow. So the title of this live is, the final stage of healing is using what happened to you to help other people. Basically what I was saying. And the victory of it all is, it's okay to play the field, but you got to come back home to yourself when the coast is clear, when the partying is done. You still got to come home and listen to yourself, reflect on yourself, unless you find other distractions to not give or put a mirror to you or flash a flashlight on you. Don't be the person that lets somebody else hurt you and you can't move on to something that's good because you scared that you gonna get hurt because you've been through the same thing already. First of all, everybody's not the same. I don't care if they have the same type of patterns, they look alike. I don't care about none of that. Or, you know, you was manipulated from giving your all. Heal and get to a place where you can realize what's your fault and what's not your fault. And once you come to the you know, the balance of knowing, like, well, that wasn't my fault, this was my fault. Okay, all right, whatever the case is. Once you get to the balance of things, Move on. Don't block your blessings. Maybe you didn't do something right. Okay, forgive yourself. Why are you so hard on yourself? Because you don't want to be looked at like that? That's another reason why God keep putting certain situations in your life for you to have to get it. Like, you got more power than you think, or you giving up too much of your power. Hold on, slow down, caution, caution, caution. And the devil, he just do it because he want to see you wrecked up in every part of your brain. To him, you're weak. You ain't worth two dead flies. And the more and more he can keep doing it and allowing you to get to the place where you ain't gonna grow or see the worth and what it is that you're supposed to see to vibrate high to manifest in the greatest light, he gonna keep attacking you in that way until you master being optimistic instead of pessimistic. Man, this is awesome. All right, guys. Blessing, peace, and love. If you guys want to book a one-on-one with me, you can find all of my information in the bio description. Let me stop slouching. Ooh, I feel great. I feel good. Man. Thank you for sharing your time. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Yeah, red equals resilience, endurance, and determination. Absolutely. Also along with passion, love. Ooh. Also with passion, love, and excitement. Don't let nobody take your excitement away from you. And if they did, go sit with yourself and get it back. The devil took it from you, go get it back. If he sent demons to take it from you, go get it back. Pray. Okay? Alright, y'all. Again, if you do want to contact me, you can find all of my information in the description box. For those of you that want to donate to my channel, I appreciate you wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. For those of you that are pouring into my businesses, I appreciate you wholeheartedly. I really do. Thank you so much. My daughter is very happy. So thank you so much. Thank you, God. Lord have mercy. Okay, you guys. I'm going to go give me some rest. And the minute I'm called to come back, I will. Hey, Pervino. How are you? Thank you for hitting that like button. And thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. There's always a different message every day. Again, I am a professional life coach. I talk to multiple different people. Weekly, monthly, day to day. My schedule has opened up a lot. So those of you that have the calendar linked to certain time frames, it is opened up. I have private links that I've sent out, or I can send out to you, so you can get a better variety of when I'm available. So when you go to my website on lifecoachwithme.com and you only see a certain time frame as to when you think or see I am available, that has not been updated yet. I am full blown open to, because I be having people that need to talk to me right away, and I be open to it. It's been working out greatly. It hasn't been overwhelming or anything. But I have people that be wanting to talk to me on demand. Yes, I do charge. Okay. Yes, I do charge $25. $25 for a session. And however long that lasts. If I don't have anyone else behind you, then we can talk. Get it all out. Most people love me. So, women and men, they love talking to me, which I'm grateful. I'm grateful for, because I love meeting new people. So, of course, if you're guided, reach out. I haven't had any negative people come to me playing in that area. I'm sure they don't want to get exposed in that way, but I'm grateful for the people who trusted me to give them the right type of advice, the people who trusted me to deliver all what I need to deliver. I am so grateful. Um, I think I've said everything. So thank you, Parvino. Everyone should subscribe to her channel and like. Thank you again thank you for pouring into me. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I will be back soon. Blessings, peace, and love. This is my symbol, you guys. Blessings, peace, and love to you all. See y'all very soon. Y'all have a great morning today. I hope y'all have a great day. I pray y'all stay blessed and highly favored. Okay? Break them chains. Break the chains. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Blessings, peace, and love.